Hello and welcome back to 777 Tech, or welcome if this is your first time. We are going to be looking at a device that has sparked and inspired a community. And today we're going to be looking at one of the many things that you can do with this device. Let's get to it. Alright, and today we're going to be building a retro gaming console with this Raspberry Pi right here. This is a Raspberry Pi 4, and it's a Model B, which I think that's the only model they have right now. It has a 1.5 gigahertz quad-core ARM CPU. They have different variations on RAM, which you do, I believe it's 1, 2, 4, or 8 gigabytes of RAM. I have the 4 gigabyte model. And then you have some other chips for your Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. You have two micro HDMI cable ports, which is interesting because you can run dual monitor setup on this. You have USB-C for your power. You have a couple ribbon cables, and I believe this one is for camera, and this one right here is for a display, if you want to put a display on it. Or they have displays that connect onto these pins as well. These pins are definitely interesting. A lot of people use this for like robotics and stuff like that. Today we're going to be building a retro gaming console. So this also has two USB 2.0 ports and then two USB 3.0 ports with gigabit Ethernet, which is a step up from the last model I hear. I think it was like 100 or 200 gigabit or 200 megabits a second, something like that. I'm not sure. But having gigabit Ethernet on this is definitely a plus. You have your SD card reader, which I believe it's 2.0, USB 2.0. We have the SD card, which is a 32 gigabyte variant of Samsung. And then we have a micro HDMI to HDMI cord. And then a USB-C to USB-C switch, where you turn it on and off while it's plugged into the wall. We have this case right here too, which I won't be talking much about it, but it's like $15 on Amazon. It's got a heat sink that is built onto it. If you do buy this case, make sure there is a hole right there. There's a screw inside there that keeps this from moving. Make sure you screw that down, otherwise it's going to be sliding around on your chips, and that probably ain't good. So this is, it says it's a Geek Pi, Geekpi case, but I highly doubt it. Looks like a knockoff of sorts, but we'll see. I don't know. Other than that, you need some thermal padding for this, which I have set aside, and I believe that's everything. If I missed something, I guess let me know in the comments. Let's build this thing. They say that this also comes with an acrylic panel. They say it keeps it from the Wi-Fi shielding, causing Wi-Fi shielding, which I guess it'll block your Wi-Fi. I have not noticed any issues with that, but I'm not sure. So I will be using this metal panel instead of the acrylic panel because, not gonna lie, it cracks easy. So, yeah. And they include a little screwdriver. you're going to want to plug your red into this second to last pin right here, and then you're going to plug your black into this pin right here. Oh, let me see if I can get a better look at it. Alright. Okay, you're going to want to plug it into that pin and that pin right there. So your second to last, that's going to be your red pin. And then that third to last is going to be your black pin. Be careful whenever you're pushing this down because you're pushing it onto chips. Okay, we're going to want to leave this open. So for right now, we'll just take this and we'll put this off to the side because we have to load our operating system on our SD card. And unfortunately, this blocks off the SD card port, this back panel. As you can see, the slot right here is for the ribbon cable that comes off for the display. So there is no SD card slot here, unfortunately, which if you guys are seeing this, whoever the hell built this, put an SD card slot or some way, some means of getting that out. That would be great. But take my words with a grain of salt. You do you, boo. Alright. Now we're going to move to the computer so that we may load our operating system onto the SD card. Alright, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put your SD card in your SD card reader. Then you're going to go ahead and put it in your device. Then I don't have an SD card that is pretty much empty, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to flash it, or I'm going to format it, and then we'll go from there. I'm using AOMEI partition assistant. And then what you're going to want to do is you want Boolean etcher, and then you're going to want the Batocera image. So what you'll do, etcher on Google, and it's going to be boolean.io. I believe it's slash etcher. You want to download for Windows. By the way, I believe, yeah, they do. They have for Mac and they have Linux as well. This is a separate PC, by the way, mind you. You're going to need a separate PC to do all of this. Or borrow a friend's PC or something like that. You're going to want to download that, which I already have it downloaded. And you're going to want to go to Batocera. Batocera Linux. You're going to want to download this. You're going to go here. Give it a second. Alright, and then scroll down. See, they got the Raspberry Pi 0, WWH, Raspberry Pi AA+, Raspberry Pi BB+, so on and so forth. We're going with the Raspberry Pi 4B. They have some others as well if you have some, like the Odroid. Alright, we're going to do the Raspberry Pi. It's going to download. We don't need to download that because it's already downloaded. After that, be right here. And I've already, I go to Boolean. I open that up after it's installed. I'm going to flash from the file. Batocera, a little image we downloaded. Open that. Select our USB drive. Now, just in case, so you know, it'll show your system drives right here. Don't click on those or it's going to format it, and then it's going to basically, you're going to be SOL. So we're not going to select those. We're going to select our mass USB device, which is our SD card reader. Select that, hit select, and we're going to flash it. Hit yes. let it flash. It may take just a couple minutes. For me, it takes a couple minutes. I don't know how long it'll take for you guys, but just be patient. Alright, with that all done, it's going to show a little green dot, it says successful target. If it shows a little red dot, I haven't had problems usually, but I would recommend, if you do have problems, to reflash the SD card or USB device that you're using. After that, you back out of that, and then we're going to go on to the other device. Alright. Unfortunately, we wasn't able to capture the setup or anything, but it's pretty quick. It runs through and basically does like cleans out all the storage and make sure everything's good to go. It brings you up to this right afterwards. First thing you want to do, I got a Xbox 360 controller, or Xbox One controller actually. Xbox One. You're gonna press this button right here. Push your L3 in. That's going to bring up your menu settings. You're going to want to go to controller settings, and usually a lot of times on your older games you're going to press B. So press that, and we're going to configure your controller. Press OK with A, or well, B I guess. And you're going to press A and it'll detect it. You press up, down, left, right, start, select, and then you're gonna go see it's the left, which is gonna be A, and then bottom's gonna be B, up top is gonna be X, and then the other, well, I guess left is gonna be Y, and then right is gonna be A. Then your analogs, of course, you're gonna go up and then left on your left analog, and a right analog you're gonna do up and left. I guess it maps the others by the corresponding axis. Your L1, R1, L2, R2, L3, R3, and your hotkey, you're going to press your Xbox button or your PlayStation button. Press OK. And you pretty much got everything set up the way you want it. If you set it up that way, the bottom button here is going to be your select, which a lot of people are used to, I guess, nowadays. Alright, and yeah, so we got that up and going. We want to get it up on our network. Let's see. And enable Wi-Fi. And then I'm going to go enter our SSID. We're going to pick which one that we want. And mine's home, obviously. And your Wi-Fi key. Okay, I got my password entered in for my Wi-Fi. And it should take a couple seconds, but it should bring up with status and it'll give you an IP address. In fact, you may have to back out. Yep. It's not connected. Yeah, man. Okay, there we go. We're connected now. Alright, and that's going to be your IP address. That's one good thing to remember right there, because that's how you're going to transfer your BIOS, your ROMs onto the system. You can also do it with a USB, but the way I'm doing it, we're going to do it over a network. And yeah, so we're going to remember that IP address. Back out. Make sure you leave your system on whenever you do this, because it's going to have to connect to it. Alright, what we're going to do, we're going to go down, go to our file explorer and go up here to the top. Our file explorer, we're gonna do that IP address 1.2.168.0.10. Oh, yeah, I forgot. You gotta do //192.168.0.10. Alright, there we go. And go over here. Sorry. Not very focused now, are we? Alright, there we go, better. Okay, we're gonna go up here to share. And we're gonna go into here to our BIOS. And I'm gonna go ahead and add my PlayStation 2 BIOS. I'm just gonna add that right in there. Copy that and just drop that right in there into our BIOS folder. Okay, then we're going to go to our ROMs. I'm just going to add a couple right now just for demonstration purposes. But, alright. One good thing about this setup here, Batocera, is I really like their PSP emulator. It seems to work pretty well compared to a couple of the other ones. So we're going to go ahead and go down to PSP. Just going to drop that in there. That's going to take a minute to load. So I'm going to give it a minute. Cheers. Alright. Once you got everything loaded up and you're back on your Raspberry Pi, you're going to want to press start because that's your new menu button. You're going to go down to game settings and you're going to update game list. And it should show all the games that you've uploaded. I've uploaded a couple of games, some PSP, some Sega Mega Drive, some Sega Game Gear, Sega Mega Drive, some Game Boy Advance, Nintendo 64, PSP. This is why I chose Batocera, because honestly the PSP emulator on this one seems to run a lot better. See how it works. Press your start and your select. It takes you out of it. And then try it one more game. Alright, we'll try the Amazing Spider-Man. Alright. It's a little off on the screen, but hey. Oh yeah. I'll get swung around. Hey, check it out. Alright, and what you can also do too, you can go over here to scrape. I usually use Screen Scraper. This is going to get your icons and anything like that that you want, any information on the game. All I'll do is title screenshot and then 3D box, logo source, whatever, rating, scrape to ratings, which is ideal, I guess. Some people prefer it. You can scrape videos, it'll play a video. You can do fan art, scrape the manual. A lot of things you can get from that. Select all. I'm going to do user decides conflicts. Okay, after you get the games that you want scraped, which basically gets video and everything, it does that. Shows you little videos and stuff. Alright, and one thing to note too is if you're trying to do PlayStation 2 or any kind of Nintendo GameCube or Nintendo Wii, it's probably more than likely not going to work on this. I've seen the Dolphin emulator run on Gen 2 before, but I don't think it runs on this one very well. So honestly, if you're trying to play anything above, you know, PlayStation 1 or PSP, I guess. I don't even know why that's crazy. Why do you play PSP games, but you can't play PlayStation 2 games? It boggles me. But anyways, because of the 86 architecture that the PlayStation 2 runs on, it is not able to play on the Raspberry Pi because it runs on a 64 ARM architecture. So that is one thing to note. Me personally, I'm a little disappointed, but at the same time, it's still kind of cool to me. Yeah. And that is pretty much everything that you need to know, other than updates and downloads. usually don't have a whole lot here. Check for updates. Usually it's up to date once you get it. Another thing too is you can change the themes and the bezels, but I haven't really messed with those, so I'm not going to mess with this. Feel free to mess with it to your heart's desire, but this is pretty much everything. Alright, now that it's set up, it's time for you guys to get out there and game. Alright, and that's using the Raspberry Pi and Batocera to make a retro gaming console. I appreciate you guys coming to see the video. Like and subscribe if you like the video, and you have a good day.